Hello and welcome to Rule of Thirds, a conversation about art, design and culture with your hosts
Burns,
Mike
and Jude.
If this is your first time listening, welcome to the family. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram at Rule of Thirds Pod. Don't be shy to say hi.
A question about the arts and the craft. If you didn't know, then it's good that you asked. You tune into the culture. Just a rule of thirds. If you want to, you could tune at work, yeah. They tell me, does that frame fit good? Does it feel right? You want a still photo for your website, but you want a logo we can design, right? Yeah.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are Rule of Thirds. My name is Jude,
My name's Burns.
And I am Mike.
and we're here again. And it's kind of warm.
Is it?
Yeah.
Actually, no, it is. I feel like it's deceiving me.
The weekend got warm.
Yeah. But even earlier today, like, I was like sweating on the way here today. So,
So it is kind of warm.
but then come 7, it'll be good.
Yeah,
We're meant to have like a heat wave today.
What?
It's meant to be a heat wave. Yeah, heat wave today, tomorrow, I think.
it's cold. The fact that I'm wearing a hoodie says enough, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Labour
Yeah.
need to fix the weather machine because I don't know what's going on.
Conspiracy.
yeah,
But yeah, how we doing?
man, good, man. Tired, bruv.
Bro,
I don't know.
that's deep.
I
We
think
need to fix that as well, yeah?
I think it's a lack of sunshine. Because even though it's warm,
Okay.
it's not really been like.
It's like sunny.
Have you
sunny.
been taking your vitamin D?
I need to start.
Huh?
I need to start.
So you haven't been taking it?
You know what? I'll be
Why-
honest. Yeah, I don't take vitamins like that. You know. I take it occasionally though.
To be fair, like, I guess if you eat certain things, you get them.
He
Yeah.
does. He does.
No,
I know,
you don't.
I know what you're
The
gonna
thing is,
suggest.
I said it, and it's like I knew that
This guy does not eat those
I
things.
don't eat those things you're talking about. I don't, man. So go get it from
You know
somewhere
how
else.
scary it is that you don't eat fruits.
You know what it is. It is what it is, man. I eat like dried fruits though.
Okay, that's calm.
What kind of dry fruits are we talking about?
Cranberry,
Okay, that's good.
raisins.
Okay, antioxidants.
Yeah. Apple pie.
Lord above.
The man said apple pie is
Apple
a
pie.
fruit. Do you know how crazy that is? 5 a day, 5 apple
Imagine.
pies.
But you know what? You know, it generally makes. I think there's actually a condition for it. I think I'm actually allergic to something.
Oh,
You said this the last
I
time.
am-
I'm so
Get
sorry.
outta
No.
here.
I'm being. Oh my gosh. There's actually.
Don't mind him.
No,
Because
No.
earlier, as he was getting out of his car, he was like, I might need to get a ginger shot because my throat is, moving mad because, I feel like something's coming.
I'm telling you, bro.
But you just finished getting ill.
Don't mind
You
him.
Get ill again.
Don't mind
At
him.
that point, you need some like.
I think you know what? I'm at a point in my life where I'm actually getting ill a bit too frequently, and I think it's a lack of.
Bro, it's a lack of fruits.
It's time.
Wait, let me see. Allergy to fruits.
Ah.
Because I'm generally not even like happy. Alright, cool.
Okay.
It's called, yeah.
And this is what you believe you have.
Oh, I 100% have this. Like, I'm dead serious. Okay, so it's a pollen food allergy syndrome, yeah. So
I have heard of it.
if you suffer from hay fever, which I do have, and you've experienced itchy mouth, why are you laughing? And you experience an itchy mouth or scratchy throat after eating certain raw fruits or vegetables and some tree nuts, you may have symptoms of pollen food allergy syndrome. It's also called oral allergy syndrome. Generally, when I have apples,
Specifically apples.
apples are one of them. It's part of that anyway.
Because
But-
it's bare fruits.
yeah.
That's
so,
my thing.
so in there, they've got apples, almonds, carrots. I don't mind carrots, but obviously when things are cooked, like,
that makes
so
sense.
I was bantering about the apple pie, but like if the apple is like boiled,
It's calm.
it's calm.
Okay.
When it's a raw fruit,
That's when you're
I can't do it.
So what about like oranges and like
Can't do, mate. I don't even like orange juice.
Wow.
I like apple juice though, which is weird, but
what go for the apples?
It's-
You're clearly obsessed with apples.
I
Apple
love
pie.
apples, but I can't have the raw that sort of version of it. It's weird. It's so
Yeah,
weird.
you need to go and get it checked. If
Yeah,
it's actually
please-
an allergy, then
yeah.
No,
I
I
test.
generally do though, because even like it's got bananas, cucumber,
You can't have
melons.
bananas.
Oh my goodness, no. But when I was a kid, I could. But then
Okay.
as I got older, I started to it made me feel sick. Like
the sick part I get because
Yeah.
banana is a very
So-
sickly
That,
like
yeah.
Consistency, like
yeah,
texture,
yeah.
weird.
Same as
Wow.
tomatoes.
Wow.
Oh,
So not you.
huh? No, but it's cooked. It's cooked. It's not raw.
I hate raw tomatoes. They're disgusting.
Yeah, but
So
And some people
I can't
back it,
lie,
you know?
I never understood this. like, why is that a thing?
What, raw tomatoes?
Like, why do people not like raw tomatoes? I find it strange.
It's
No, it's
weird.
It tastes like a tomato. And
tastes
that's what I
too-
don't like about it.
It tastes too earthy.
Yeah, too earthy.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it does taste too earthy.
I find it so
It's like
weird, I'm
chewing
not gonna
roots.
Like,
Why are you being weird?
yeah,
Stop
man,
it.
it's proper weird,
Like
man.
just chewing roots. Like
Not even
Yeah.
like a cherry tomato situation.
I don't see
Wow.
the difference. I'll be honest with you.
it's not tomatoes.
Yeah.
It's a big tomato.
You know what? I like sun-dried tomatoes.
Sun-dried are good.
But they're dried.
Yeah, that's the point.
It's like saying I like stew. Like, because it's a different form of the raw form of it.
Fair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I used to love fruit flakes though back in the day. Do you ever have that?
Bro, they don't count. That's not fruits.
It's not real food.
It's not real. It's not real. Come on, guys. But yeah,
Yeah,
other
man.
than that, everything cool.
Other than that, I'm easy, man. I'm easy. I can't complain.
Thank God.
Amen.
Praise God.
Amen.
Alpha. Damn.
Mm.
We're
Wow.
good.
You've had a busy week.
Oh yeah, mad.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
You know it's
So guys, Michael got married.
thank you. My mum was so happy.
Like, oh, my son.
No, I had an interview for something. Presentation, it went well. So much so that today they said I'm free to the final round.
Wow. Yo.
Come on, come
Yeah.
on.
Back.
No, for real.
Swear
for real.
down. How you feeling?
I had a moment like, wow,
Did you
okay.
cry?
I was close. My eyes were.
He's gonna cry today. He's gonna cry later on today.
No, I'll cry.
It'll hit you. Like,
I'll cry when I get it because
Yeah.
part of me is like I don't want to
Waste
like,
the tears.
waste the tears now. Like they
Yeah.
need to really be for something at the end. Whether
But it's for something, to be fair.
and what
That's
is the
amazing,
final, like?
so I basically have to do the same thing again
Okay. In
with
front of more people?
just one person.
Wow.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Is this
Oh,
person
that-
the head of something?
Yeah, like head of like one of like the
Yeah, I know.
Trying to
Yeah,
say
yeah,
cryptic.
yeah.
So
The
like,
president of the United States.
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
like, one of the directors. So that'll be like later this week, and then
Wow, this week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then we will
They will
know.
be flying in bucks.
Amen.
So-
Cash.
The way
Amen.
the way everybody keeps
Amen.
saying this, yeah, and I'm just like, guys, please,
Yeah,
like
man.
the salary is good, but it's like,
Oh, don't worry. You'll bless
What's-
us all.
mm.
Amen.
We
Amen.
need new equipment.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? We're changing the IG.
you
Yeah,
guys
try
are
the
so
atmosphere.
unserious.
You're the feng shui. Change it up, you know what I'm saying?
The feng shui.
Yeah.
No, but like it's been an interesting journey. So like I'm happy it's coming towards like the end.
Yeah, that's it,
stuff,
man.
but
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank God, man.
I'll let you guys know what happens next week.
Wow.
Imagine we didn't ask today.
As
No,
in-
I was saving it for the pod. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
I was
fair,
always
fair,
saving
fair.
it for the pod.
So guys, by the way, what are we gonna do?
No. I'll tell you guys beforehand.
Okay, I thought you
Yeah.
were gonna be like a sneaky, like, yeah. So you know how? So basically, I'm in the final of this challenge, and you know, wait, sorry, yeah, you know, sorry, I don't know.
Oh, so casual.
Yeah,
That's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that,
Well,
man.
thanks, man.
yeah, congratulations.
The hard work
Well
actually
deserved.
pays off, bro.
Hmm.
No, you worked hard, man.
The
Like,
It's-
proper.
whole damn time.
no, for real. Like, I also got a rejection from another thing today that I applied for.
Mm.
So I think it just reminded me, like, you really just have to like scatter the seeds across.
Yeah. Come on, man.
I didn't say sow the seed. I didn't say
Just
spread
scatter
your
it.
seed.
Scatter.
Spread and scatter.
Scatter the seed.
No, but I know what you
Oh,
said.
what, we just wonder you shit. Crazy.
Yo.
You're diabolical.
You just got to do a lot of different things because
Yeah.
you one miss all the shots you don't take, but also you maximize your chances of getting something.
100%.
So I think there's like probably 3 or 4 within the last week that different things that I've applied for, and just that rejection again was like I really wanted that too,
But
but this one I do. This one like
Yeah.
like my mom is praying with my uncle.
Mm.
People have said
corporate prayer.
maybe
I love
no,
it. Yeah.
maybe we'll fast, and I was like, okay, guys, look, let's
No,
let's-
No,
let's-
Yeah,
they're serious though.
let's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to run that one.
So shake the belly.
Today I'll lift you up in prayer.
Yeah.
Nothing, it's fun. But yeah, a lot of like great principles. Like
Mm.
I've learned again, like hard work. You can't avoid the hard work. You have to do
You
it,
have to do the hard work, yeah.
and you just have to like maximize your chances by just applying for loads of different things and seeing what happens. So
Mm.
yeah.
Wow. That's amazing news, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
Woo!
Jude, how far?
I'm cool.
Mm. Just cool.
Yeah, I'm just vibing, man.
Mm. Nothing happening.
I mean, one of the projects you were working on, like, well, it's more of a pre-order like situation.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, but like that's not a conversation to be like. It's not.
Don't mind him. Don't mind him.
It's not even
Because
that-
like
it's not
every
even-
time he shares out, oh yeah, new work.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And you see the person who it's with and you're like,
To be fair, I've been very quiet on socials. I've been thinking about it. I don't know who. I think I was talking to my little sister and she was saying how the new algorithm isn't really if you have a lot of ghost followers, which a lot of us have because we've been on Insta for
time.
So a lot of them have ghost followers and it affects your algorithm. So what I've recently realized, a lot of people are making new accounts.
interesting.
They're saying, "Oh, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna close this account and
To-
open.
to
If you really like my stuff, follow me there. Blah blah." So yeah, it's just been interesting. Kind of like I haven't posted in a while, like in terms of work stuff. So it's gonna be interesting to it's gonna be interesting to see when I do start posting again and seeing how that is, because I don't know. I'm always trying to like every time I start posting, I'm like, oh shit, I really don't want to be doing this. And I stop and I'm like, I probably should be doing this because it helps me keep have a living, you know. But yeah, other than that, I'm cool. It's just trying to figure out the next steps and how that's gonna look for me. It's a very interesting period.
Maybe we'll see some artwork. Who knows?
Who knows, bro?
Maybe. Who knows?
Who knows?
That reminds me. So I was having a conversation, right, with a lady. She's a producer. I was on a shoot, funny enough, with the thing you're talking about, right? Yeah. So I was on set when they were shooting the artwork, and we're having a conversation. And I don't know how, but we ended up having a conversation about like age and how when she was like, there were particular parts in her life where she had like this massive. I think she went more into like the whole zodiac sign and how like, you know, Mercury, Lucozade, but specifically,
Lucozade, yeah, that's crazy.
But specifically, and I found it very, very interesting because that whole day, first of all, being around women is amazing. Can I just say that? Yeah, like being around feminine energy is so fun and so like there's such a air of, obviously this is a different kind of freedom when you're around guys, because there's this kind of like, oh, you can laugh and banter about anything. But with women, they have this kind of inquisitive nature about them when they're having conversations that like everybody wants to put someone onto new information, and it's just such a, everybody wants to like, it's almost like it's like seeing a plant grow, and it's just such an interesting phenomenon. Because I was there and I was the only guy, so the other guys were inside shooting, and I was on my laptop because I was doing emails, so I was outside. And obviously, you know, when people are shooting, they try to make the room as minimal as possible. They don't want a lot of moving bodies, the flash and so on and so forth. So I was outside, but most of the people who were like extras, producers, coordinators, all these kind of people were outside, and they were all like talking. But it's just like one conversation would start and then it would jump to like a whole different conversation, right? So we're having this conversation and she was saying, oh, you know, when she was 13, she had like a major thing in her life where she had to move out of her home and essentially not necessarily homeless, but she was kind of like a floater for a while where she had to sleep on the sofa with her mom and blah, blah. And then when she turned 27, something massive happened where she had to break up with her long-term partner. And that was like a massive shift in her life. And she was saying how in everybody's life, we have like those moments. I think she was saying, is it every 13 and a half years or something like that? Something like that.
On average.
Is it to do with, I'm taking it to do with like the whole zodiac thing.
Essentially,
like Saturn's return.
Something like that, yeah. So she was saying how but she was saying how like, yeah, you always have these like massive shifts in your life at one point or the other.
Which I do agree with.
Yeah, and some people have it in a very terrible way. People have it in a very calming, not calming, but more so like a loving parent type of way where it's like, okay, this is not your path, move here. And they completely swap or change like their trajectory on what they're going to do in life, so on and so forth. So I thought it was an interesting conversation to be had.
That's really
like,
conversation.
What do you guys think? Do you believe, especially as creatives, that do you believe that happens in our journeys where we have these moments of like, okay, I'm going to completely pivot, or okay, this isn't working, it's a disaster, work just fired me, all these kind of things, everything is happening all at once. And do you feel like you've gone through that, or do you feel like it's coming? Because sometimes you can feel something.
Something's on the brink. I
feel it.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like, yeah, it's funny because I but in church there's a sermon about kairos moments.
Oh, you can.
And
Why
that's-
don't we just had up that?
yeah, but
That's
it's
funny.
it's like, but it's that, there is, that's what I believe it is anyway. But there's these moments in your life that are very significant. I think for me, I've definitely had those moments. I mean, the easy example is when I realized that I wanted to take the leap of faith to go from finance to design.
How old
that-
were you when that happened?
That was
21.
no. So
Was
I've
it a
been
bit
working.
after?
I've been working for about 3 years in my current role. So about 3.5 years. Yeah, 3.5 years ago.
Mm.
So I would have been 24.
Damn.
So about 24. That was one of those moments for me where I was like, oh wow, and it scares me because it's like, if I just didn't take a leap of faith, if I didn't
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't be doing
Yeah,
this.
no facts.
It scares me.
It wouldn't be a thing.
Because it's like I would have been cracking like numbers and that. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mm.
it's so I think that's one of my moments. But I think something's on the edge. I think I even had like a catch up with my manager about like where I'm heading to next, kind of thing. Like, what does my career look like?
Okay.
And it was like not just like this, I guess, within the company, but like
In general.
in general. And
Yeah.
it's like, I think for me, like sports and film is something I definitely want to explore, especially sports.
You've been
feel
saying
like-
this for a minute.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to happen soon. How soon, I don't know.
You think that that's dependent on you?
Yeah, I think
If you wanted to start
question.
tomorrow, you reckon you could?
yeah, 100%. I think it's weird because even I had like one of my friends introduced me to one of his youngers, and he wants to get into design. So I kind of had like a portfolio review with him on Friday, which is something that is so random. Cause I thought, wow, this is something I would have wanted when I was around that age. He just
Yeah.
graduated even,
Mm.
but he didn't do design. He did something else. But
Okay.
so
Yeah.
basically, same situation as I was. And I think one thing that I said to him was that, from your work, I couldn't see if you're a designer, illustrator, or animator.
Okay.
And basically, I took that even advice for myself, where it's like, if I want to move into this next moment for me, my work may need to start aligning more to where I want it to go to, if that makes sense. So I need to start showing a bit more sports design.
Yeah.
Not necessarily I have to, but it aids in that
It helps
process.
a lot.
Because I think having a portfolio where it shows that, look, I want to go into, like, for example, if you want to become an artist now, and I haven't seen you produce any artwork, it's kind of difficult for me to trust that you are an artist.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I think when I find myself having to shift my content, I think that's when I'm starting to go towards those new moments, them new seasons. So that's what I'd say, for sure.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike?
I guess like similar to Burns, like I do feel like I'm also on the cusp of like a new chapter. And I've been thinking a lot about this, funny enough, because of this thing that I've applied for. So I've like looked back at like, okay, when I started doing design till like now, and why I wanted to do design, even to the point where I was like, did I always want to be a designer? Or was it like maybe the visual communication side of things I really liked, and the storytelling aspects that you can do through design? That's what like really got me engaged. But I do like type and design, but just like, that the whole world of visuals like has always been appealing to me. So I think I've been trying to like unpack, okay, what came first in a sense. And even around that time, like there was a lot of like things didn't happen instantly. There was a lot of like having to learn, applying for stuff, a lot of failure, a lot of like adjusting, changing things, and then kind of, I guess, like earning my stripes to some degree before I got my first design like job. And I feel like there are moments that you probably want something like sooner, or when you think it's like the right time. Like with this residency, I have applied to this like thing 4 times, I think, from like 2018, 2019, 2020. Maybe there was one in like 2021, like during the pandemic.
So pretty much every single year.
So
Wow.
Consistent.
for
That's so okay. Sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah.
what do you think has made a difference now?
that's what I've been thinking about a lot, because I'm just like, why now? I think some of it is because I know what I want to do with my work, and I know where it sits and fits. Like I think before, I had like all of these ideas. Like again, it was like photography, but I want to tell stories through like photography. But I use myself a lot in my work, so like I don't think I explained the ideas too clearly, and maybe I wasn't the work I had made. Maybe there wasn't enough of it at the time, so it's like they couldn't really judge clearly. Like, cool, we have a good essence of what this person does,
right,
and stuff. But I do feel like as time has gone by, with the failures that have happened, I think naturally like it pushes you to kind of like refine your craft, but also just like think about what you want to do moving forward. And maybe my experiences like in advertising and freelancing and always coming back to this idea that I do want to explore this thing. So I think even me learning how to like explain my work and my practice has probably helped too. I think back then I didn't really know what it was at the time. I remember going to portfolio reviews and I would share with them like this like photography stuff. I'd be like, this is great, but where we don't know where this is supposed to fit.
Right.
And it would happen often. Like I'd go to an ECD, like executive creative director, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's great. So for a campaign, how would this like work? Or like, what's the idea side of things? Because advertising, so it's all about like the
how does it fit into the advertisement?
And I remember always feeling conflicted because I was like, I don't know. I just know that I would like to tell good stories and find a way to do that through like image or like through video. But I just didn't know where it all fit in. And then this time around, I think because with the brief for this residency, it's like portraiture and process. And I use like photo manipulation a lot. And they're looking for like more innovative takes on like photography. And it's mad because I wouldn't even, at times I was like, I'm already a photographer, I don't really know. But I've had to accept it's like you take pictures. It is what it is and stuff.
That's all it is.
No facts. Like
I take pictures.
Even
on my iPhone.
like even with being like an artist, it's like if you make artwork, you're an artist. But sometimes you feel like because maybe it goes back to some of us that have like with design, it's like, oh, I don't know if I can call myself a designer because I haven't got a job as a designer, but I make design work, but I'm not like official. I haven't arrived. So I think because of that, I probably have that mentality with this again. So it's had to like teach me like, no, this is who you are. You just have to like embody it and claim it and stuff. But I think also I know what I want to say now with the work too. I think earlier I did have ideas of what I wanted to do and talk about, but it wasn't as clear. And I do think maybe because like the residency has like changed over the years, or in like partnership with certain people over the years. So it's like, if I'm going to be looking through, like let's say if it's with a museum and they've got like artworks in the museum, what works will you use as inspiration for what you want to do? And like, I feel like my proposal was really clear and it was really strong. So that's also why I think it resonated with them. It's like, okay, I've explored these themes within my like work already. This is where I see myself going moving forward. A good like, so like right time, right place. I think other times it just wasn't the right time at all, or my practice wasn't in a good place for it. But I do feel like eventually, it's like preparing for that time. But then sometimes life will take you on a journey that you don't even know, like you'd have to go on in order to be here. Because I don't think if I got it like years ago, I would not have. It would have been vibes. There would have been some great ideas, but it would have been vibes. But also, I think the failure has also just like allowed me to like appreciate this moment more. So like, even I keep telling people like obviously I want it, but like even if I don't get it, it's like I've learned so much about myself and the work I want to create moving forward that it's like, okay, regardless, I'll still try and like figure out a way to make this happen. Kind of thing. Don't even know if that answers the original question.
No, it does. But, it does. Yeah. Because you're coming more so from an angle of you feel like sometimes there is such a thing as immature success. Sometimes life has to kind of like not humble you, but like allow you to experience these not bad, but relatively bad in your perspective. And then later on you realize actually maybe it wasn't a bad thing. It's a neutral thing. But I took it as bad because of where I was.
Exactly.
And then looking back, you're like, oh, this was a great thing.
Yeah. Because like there were moments, especially last year, like, where I thought I was gonna have my breakthrough moment. Or
Kairos moment.
Or like you talk to like mentors, and I think a lot of it for me was like I was thinking that these people would finally give me the opportunity in my big break. and then nobody gave anything. Like, there's one person who I've been emailing for over like, I want to say like 2 years now.
Wow.
For us to meet up.
Spam.
No. As in,
respond.
they're responding. But by the time the meeting comes, oh, I'm so sorry, something's come up. And I remember in those moments, I was going through like the ringer in like, and I'm thinking, no, like
bags on the eyes,
no.
dark room.
I'm honestly
crazy.
like, you're thinking, oh my gosh, like,
sweaty
and like
that will set me off, man.
and like she was someone, and much love to her as well still, but like she's like if you her position, it makes a lot of sense. You're like, oh my gosh, like she would have like such great advice, or she would help me to like know what to do
navigate,
next, or like I remember one other mentor, I was thinking, maybe I don't know, maybe they'd just be able to like help me out. I basically like poured out my heart and my life situation at the time.
Those are the worst. Those are the worst. What?
For real. And
like,
then
cool.
You expose yourself.
and then he actually gave me like the idea to like find a full-time gig. This was last.
Oh, but hey, look.
No. But
Get a job.
he was like, oh, like I understand you want to like do the whole artist thing now, but like realistically, it might not just be like conducive right now. And it was hard to hear, but it was true. And then
no, I got the same thing though.
Really?
And funny enough, you guys know him,
That's
innit?
get a job.
You guys never know. But basically, this was trying to navigate what to do next.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And I met up with bro, and bro was amazing because like he generally like he was like, yo, I'll be honest with you.
Like him telling you.
I'll be honest, basically, I wanted to become like freelance full time.
right.
Bro was like, look, I'll be honest with you, yeah. Work this 9 to 5.
Trust me.
Invest that into what you're doing now, and try to find a full time job in this.
Mm.
And like it was so humbling, but like it's the best choice I've ever made. Like honestly, so,
yeah. Like
you need that.
no, you do.
Yeah,
I remember going home, I was like, wow, I thought my answer would be here. Now I'm gonna have to now start like
Working.
yeah, like you have to like that idea has to die. You got to mourn that as well.
Oh, it's idea they can park, you can archive.
Yeah,
you just
no,
put it to the back, you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. So like it's funny because that was the time before. Basically, that led me to getting the job that I got last year. That was very
yeah.
But then
God wants some mysterious haze.
no, but then that's the thing. It's like in a mysterious way.
Yeah.
Very chaotic. But then even that confirms for me, like, and it's funny because he, like, the same person then also put me on another freelancing job like this year.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that like confirmed for me, like, okay, yeah, this working in advertising is just, you keep going into it and things keep happening.
It's a toxic environment.
So let's just,
Not all.
not
but
all.
I would say, anyway, that's the conversation for another
But
day.
it wasn't great. So I think that's what's
Yeah.
pushed me now to be like, okay, this art side of things, let's just commit and find opportunities. And I think also that's why maybe it's been successful this time around, because I've been very serious and it's like, there's no other option. So this actually needs to work.
That's the work, yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Chief?
Yeah.
What about me?
What's
Why
been
you
like
like
your
this?
moment? Like
My Kairos moment. Oh,
Mm.
I don't
Or
know.
what chapter of life do you feel like you're in right
Yeah.
now?
No, I'm definitely like in a growing chapter. Like I can feel like things bubbling, but like this is why I asked you earlier that do you feel like you have control over it?
Mm.
Because like similar to what Mike was saying, I do feel like there is such a thing as immature success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you can get it too early.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can lose it
Mm.
just as
Yeah,
quickly.
yeah,
Because the
yeah.
maintenance of that success is the harder part.
Mhm.
Getting is easy. Like I was saying, like I think a few episodes ago, I was like, if we wanted this pod to blow, we can just show Nyash and it'll go viral. But it will go viral for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
So sometimes people can get things, but it will be for the wrong reason. It could
Yeah.
be maybe because you are at the right place, but at the wrong time, and you got an eye, all eyes are on you, and you're not prepared. And it's like so
Yeah.
much, and you fall into alcoholism, or anything can happen, right?
Wow.
But it's just interesting because, again, I'm always having this weird conversation with people. But today I was asking a friend of mine, like, what happened with someone who they were essentially kind of like managing,
Mm.
and
Okay.
I think he was saying how they had creative differences, and I found it so interesting because when he explained to me the creative differences that he, I guess from his perspective, they were disputing over, it made me realize that they both were right. Like both ways would have worked. And it's so interesting because when I look at my life sometimes, like for you, obviously it was the 9 to 5.
Mm.
But not like in my life, anytime I've gone into a 9 to 5, I've always hated it. I've and I've tried my best. Like sometimes I'll be like, similar to when you were applying and you felt like maybe you weren't ready. I always apply for 9 to 5. I'm like, I don't really want it.
Yeah.
I like, even though I'm doing it, but my heart is
Your
not
heart is somewhere else.
100% like in it.
Yeah.
And it's not because I love freelancing so much, but it's just because like I just love to do things at my own pace. And I feel like not everyone has the luxury of you know, experiencing things. But also it's like I'm very committed to the human experience. So for me, it's like I'd rather enjoy things and take my time with it as opposed to try to hit some goal just because it's like like it's like the whole wedding fallacy where you know how like you see someone get married and suddenly you see 20 marriages, or you see someone buy a car and then suddenly everybody's buying a car. It's one of those things that sometimes like if you get caught up in it, all you can realize is everything that everyone is doing. If you start to like say, oh, I didn't get this job, suddenly everybody's getting new jobs. Wait, what's going on here? So it's like I always try to kind of find my own
like lane or path. Or...
like almost my own compass, because it's very difficult to do things that you're happy with without compromise most of the time. So in order to compromise, you have to be willing to compromise something that people might not see, for example, financially or time, as opposed to trying to compromise in front of people. Because like, for example, you could get like the greatest job in the world, but maybe they won't allow you to do some things because of red tape. And that was my situation in the 9 to 5 that I used to have, where it's like you want to try weird, crazy things, but they won't allow you because there are rules and regulations that
of course.
are like, you know. So the compromise is, okay, cool. I'm going to sacrifice getting that constant income for much more freedom and the ability to say no, because no is expensive as hell, man. Like if you want money, don't say no. It's that easy. But it's much harder to say no, because especially when they're trying to pay you like stupid money, you're like, ooh. But then ethics might not
it's never really worth it, man.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I definitely feel like I'm in a very interesting, like I think we're just speaking about the car. I feel like I'm in different, like an interesting space where I'm like trying to do things that I still enjoy, but applying the things that I've learned over the years to those things. Because in all honesty, like I feel like sometimes life is just like a Groundhog Day where you're doing the same thing but in different ways all over and over. I was even having this theory that perhaps life is just one day and we just wake up and every day we think something's changed, but really it hasn't. It's just the same day over and over. So it's like, if that's the case, then it's like I have to be able to do what I want without like regrets, but also I need to do it with the knowledge that I've gained to like up to this point. I need to apply those things to it, because it wouldn't make any sense if I did something that I did 10 years ago in the same way. And like I know some artists have made a career out of doing the same thing but just improving it just a tiny bit every single time. And I think that's where I want to be, where I can just be, because I know what I like. I've been doing what I like for years. That's never going to change. I know I'm going to keep like doing the same things. So it's just about being able to kind of up the taste level as I'm going along. But it's just going to be interesting because we're in a different time in the world where now we have responsibilities. You've got family to take care of. You've got, you know, wives and kids will come in the picture. And that's going to be, I feel like that's when it's going to be very challenging to see how much I can compromise. Because I can be greedy. I can't even lie. Bro, I'll be very honest with you. I can be very, very greedy, very selfish when it comes to like...
So not have time for them.
Yeah, because you like, I think when you're very clear in what you feel your purpose is, it can be a very selfish road. So you know what I'm saying? I feel like sometimes you can, if you're not very intentional, you can be very
you won't really achieve that goal.
You end up like forsaking all the people around you
just to get
to where you want to. And it's like people be like, yo, like maybe for example, we need to pay bills, and you're like, no. I'm in my zen moment. Give me a moment. Give me 1 month. But it's like maybe you might not be able to afford that luxury of like time. You know. But anyway, that was my thinking on it. You know.
That leads on perfectly.
I was gonna say conversation for creatives.
Like perfectly. So today's conversation for creatives is this: do you have a routine or ritual that helps you to get into a creative flow? Do you have a routine or ritual that helps you get into your creative flow? Kind of leads on to what you were saying actually before about like how these artists have kind of tweaked things over years. They've got a certain routine or like ritual that they do to like get themselves into that. Yeah, I don't like that word, to be honest.
I like it. I really like
But
that word.
ritual is not even like because I think when people hear that, I think especially from African,
we've just over spiritualized.
No, but a ritual is actually like a ritual's going to pray. That's a ritual.
Yeah.
It's not like a demonic.
Was it a continuous practice of a particular action?
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I'm not ChatGPT, but
Let me find out what it actually means, bruv. Just
I feel like ritual is something you do.
A ritual is a ceremony. Is a religious or solemn ceremony consisting of a series of actions performed according to a prescribed order.
Okay.
So is that something you do that you know you're gonna? So yeah. So do you have any like rituals or like routines you need to do to get into a creative flow?
I look to you guys.
Okay, like when you get a project, do you just get straight into it?
I look to you guys.
Because I'll be honest,
Wait, is that how you're prefacing it? Like you're saying when you get a project, as opposed to when you're starting a project of yours, or
if it's your own personal work,
anything, I guess.
Yeah, your own personal work, somebody else's work. Like, do you have a certain thing that you do, a little routine that you have, or I don't know, like how do you go into it?
I mean,
I don't.
There's definitely like some boring bits that everyone does,
like paperwork and research,
and like making notes and stuff. I guess that's the unorthodox things. Might be maybe like for me, I have to listen to music when I'm starting a new project,
right? Just
so that I can place it in a soundscape.
Okay.
Yes,
so that's one weird thing that I might be doing when I start. Like
I hear that.
Like if I'm doing if I'm getting work that is related to maybe, I think that's why I enjoy working in the music industry, because I get to like put it in line with sound. That makes sense. That part, but when it's my own work, I still have to listen to something so that I can be like, okay, cool, this is how it sounds like.
Okay,
like everything is like a movie in my head.
That makes sense.
So maybe that's probably like the practice that I can think of. There's so many I want to implement, but I'm not that arty yet.
Do you think, because I think sometimes like for me, for example, you know what, it's funny, because as a Christian, they say you should pray, and you should always pray.
You don't be praying, do you?
But like, no, I'll be very honest, like I don't pray before I do. I don't pray before I do work, but I actually do want to do that a bit more. I think naturally, because I just know that I guess the Holy Spirit's within me.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest, like it's like I think that is kind of weird, but I think I do want to get into the habit of like kind of like God just leading me in how to approach different things. But also I don't want it to become too
religious.
Yeah, in the sense of like I must do this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, nah, I don't think that's how
something
life is.
Off.
Yeah, I don't. I think that creates a lot of fear and actually probably caps the creativity to some extent.
Right.
But I think something I do, I guess, do when it comes to, I don't know, doing work or whatever, tend to like kind of like create like a library of things I want to use.
Mm-hmm.
So whether that's like references or whether that's like fonts or whether that's colors that I really like or whatever, I kind of collect them all together before I even start, just so I have like something to work from. But yeah, I definitely have to listen to music though. I can't, and it's weird. Do you guys have this thing where you like? Sometimes you might be watching. Sometimes when I'm watching a series, I'll be designing as well. But like, I can remember what I was designing at the time because I was watching a certain series. So it's where my brain works. But basically, I can remember I was watching. I was watching Fulham versus West Ham at this time when I was designing that particular thing.
Mad.
Like I create these connections
because I do that with the music thing. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
so I'll be like, if I hear that song, I'll be like, it reminds me of that project.
Yes, exactly. So it's like I have those. I definitely listen to something in the background or whatever. Cause I feel like silence ain't the vibe, man. I feel like my brain weaving fry.
Silence is cool though.
Depends where you are, man.
Yeah, silence can be cool. I mean, recently when I'm walking to like the gym, that's when like a lot of the ideas, because that's like
I think that's different. I think talking about when I'm in the actual creative workflow, like actually working.
When you're in the mix of like,
when I'm in the mix,
because I thought it's like even the lead up to like. When I get back home in an hour, I'm gonna start designing.
Yeah,
right.
So I use that walk to.
No, I do love the silence. Yeah, for sure. Like even when I'm at work, for example, like lunch breaks, I literally walk around the area. sometimes music, sometimes fairly no music. I listen to like it sounds so weird. I listen to people's conversations.
I can't lie, I love that.
But like, do you know what I mean? Where it's like you're just walking past and it's like, oh,
what are they talking about?
yeah, or like just you're hearing like where I work, there's like these water fountains that these kids just run past, and do you know what I mean? Just hearing what's going on, hearing the noise around. I like hearing noise and hearing what's happening. But other than that, yeah. What about you, Mike?
I think similar to like both of you, music is a big thing for me.
Yeah.
But I'm really big on like podcasts as well. I feel like I like listening to
Real Threads.
Precisely. No, but like no, there was a time though that I was really like Rule of Thirds was more in like especially every week when like we would drop and stuff.
Yeah.
No, we still drop every week. It's just, you know, life. But I actually need to tap back into that because damn. I don't know if any of us really like listen to like
you know what?
This season as much.
I listen to little parts mainly because I'm hearing myself talk back. So I'm like, what's the point?
I hear it.
He's like, I know what I said.
Yeah, I know what I said.
Because like before, I would be happy to like go through, but maybe because maybe it's the editing and more because it's video this time. But I do need to like look back in and stuff. But music is big for me. Podcasts, especially podcasts that like either go through someone's journey as a creative person, artistic person, or even recently, like especially for like some of the proposal stuff that I've been working on, been listening to like a lot of arts, like podcasts, like new stuff. So learning more about the world that I hopefully will enter, or I am in anyway, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't have to enter like if you're an artist and all that kind of stuff. But what else? Big note taker. So I know like Burns, you said like
physical notes.
Yeah, physical notes. Even on like Notes app as well. Like I feel like I just need to like dump stuff.
Yeah.
So a mixture of like notes, written notes, Pinterest is really good. If I see any references, that folder, I have a design folder on Instagram. I'm sure we all do. Like, yeah.
You know how you can make like subfolders?
Yeah.
I started, but then it got to a point. I don't like the thing about Instagram. I wish they did like, you know, on Pinterest you could do your boards, and then it will show the board you want to put it in.
Oh, I see what you mean. But
I feel
you have to go to
it's just long.
Yeah. So like all of that, but I know my design is just literally so many different
things.
Yeah. So it's just like whatever is the most recent thing. Walks help me a lot actually as well.
For sure.
I feel like just like I'm a big overthinker and like I have a very overactive imagination. So like I'll just go on a walk. Like to the point where I've realized like my neighbors will see me on road and they're like, oh hey. But because I'm like so like in here,
you're locked in.
like it happens so many times.
You just add them.
No, like, I don't see them. It's like
his brain is
I feel like I've done it with you guys. Like you guys,
be like, hey Michael, he's like walking straight
I'm just like somewhere,
and
stuff. But like, in that space, I'm like thinking about things. I think part of my process, because I felt like, oh, is it just procrastination? But I do feel like I try and like theorize everything before I get into the thing, if that makes sense.
You know why?
It might be like a perfectionism thing. But I've realized it is part of my process. Like, I might not start making the work, but I will be thinking about the work.
That is me.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, for a while.
Which is bad sometimes.
That's really good, though.
You know, it is, but sometimes I'm in the project right now, where I can't, like, I'm overdue.
Oh, okay.
But it's not because, it's just that I want to make it right.
Yeah.
But it's taking too damn long.
Yeah.
I can't connect to it yet. It's frustrating.
But it will come.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I think, probably this is a good question because I actually want to...
You can't force it. It's going to come though.
Yeah, eventually. But I think it's just... I hate being in that space.
Yeah. Right. Sometimes like finding the right balance because you can be in that for way too long. Like, I think, you know how like simulations, like people try and do like test runs and simulations before, and then you actually carry out the like practical thing. So I feel like sometimes it's like that. Like, okay, after some time, it's like you won't know until you actually execute and stuff. But that is a big part, I think, of my process for me. But yeah, it's not always as clean cut and structured as I would like it to be at the same time.
But that doesn't necessarily need to be honest. I think every project can be different. I wish life could be like, I think, was it that tweet about like graphic designers not just sitting in one cute cafe drinking like a cappuccino or whatever. but it's actually like, you know, screaming at like 1 a.m. in the morning. Do you know what I mean? And I think ultimately, like, it would be nice to light a candle, and then, I don't know, have some incense burning and then start working. But like, that's not life. That's not reality of
That's
life.
very
innit?
much an Instagram reel.
Yeah, for real.
But it can be, though.
You know what it is? I think, do you remember those, I don't know if you guys still watch them videos, but do you remember like Matt Devella and like the self-help like people?
I feel like you've definitely seen.
You know the videos like,
before.
10 ways to stop procrastinating.
Yeah. He used to do this like 90 days of me, like, I don't know, showering with cold water.
Yeah.
This is the cold coffee guy who did something coffee. He did like some weird coffee product.
You know this, brother.
Like a super. I don't know.
Because he's a minimalist, so I'm just like, I don't know if that would align.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Okay.
I think there was a point where he became a minimalist because it was a quick change. You know this, brother.
I've never seen.
Really?
Oh
If
my!
I saw him on the road, I would walk past.
During the pandemic, he was like everywhere.
Nah.
That's why he blew.
I've never seen that man in my life.
I think he's Australian. He's Australian.
I don't
His
think
wife.
so. His wife's Australian.
Yeah,
Or
so-
New Zealand.
He's from America.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
of course.
Shout out to him.
But like, I think even though his videos are inspiring, it was like, I used to watch him and be like, oh, this is so nice. But then I look at my room, I'm like, it's not realistic, is it? Do you know what I mean?
I guess it's like finding the balance of like what works for us.
Yeah. You know what? I think my yard is now becoming more like that though. Because we've got, you guys need to come soon, man.
Virus.
What?
To be fair, no, he actually has.
What?
He actually has multiple times.
What?
I was drawing you out.
He's like, how very dare you?
But I like generally, yeah. It's even good that you guys haven't come yet
I'm
because
trying to get it right. Perfect.
No, I can't lie.
Simulations.
like even you got something in it. Like I need to even
Okay.
so it's like even like we've got a garden shed that we're gonna make into something.
Oh, I remember you said, yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
there's So I think in due time. But I think the reality of life is that there's always gonna be something I need to do, always something to work on. So yeah. So that was Conversations for Creatives.
1, 2, 3.
Shout outs
and
and
recommendations.
Okay.
So-
This week's shout outs and recommendations. How many was it again? Was it 2 or 3?
3. Maximum 3.
Maximum 3. You can do 2. You can even do 1.
Oh, apologies. Okay, so I've got a few recommendations this week. First one is a song
Okay.
by the artist Len.
Len. How'd you spell that?
Len. I mean, doesn't get any easier than that.
You know what? I
Baby,
don't
scream.
even.
It's okay.
I've always been like, you know, like them artsy kind of like spellings.
Well, like a 3 for the
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got a song called Chakra.
Oh,
And I
banger.
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, shout out to, I believe his name is Jeffrey, who's the on production.
Okay.
But it's an amazing song. I love the aesthetic. This kind of like old school. I don't want to say West African. But
No,
it's very.
I was
This
gonna
one
say.
was Santi.
Yeah. Santi's in the video. Yeah, dancing in the background. It's,
I think I've seen it.
you definitely
I
have.
think I've seen the video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tanya the Entertainer's in the video as well. I believe.
I don't know why me saying, I swear he's Congolese, why that would be relevant, but I feel like it is because of the style of the video.
And
the vibe.
Yeah, because the aesthetic is very. And I recently, I've been loving the aesthetic of this particular aesthetic of like this old VHS, old tape, nostalgic thing. But yeah, it's an amazing song, Chakra by Len. If you get a chance, listen to it. I know someone's kind of over, but you know, there's someone in your room. Second one is another song by an artist called Bib Summer with a dot at the end.
Okay.
The song is called Skylines, bracket 09. And it was directed by Jay Aaron, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out to Jay. But yeah, it's an amazing song as well. Has this kind of like Nintendo-esque vibe. It's like Nintendo meets the ends.
Okay.
But yeah, it's another amazing song. It's just a really feel-good song. It just kind of like, wasn't there that skating game? You know the skating games that people used to love back in the day?
Something, what's his name?
Tony Hawk, Pro Skater.
Yeah, it's like
probably
you could hear it as a soundtrack.
Okay.
In that. And
Interesting.
yeah, it's an amazing song. Yeah, check it out when you get a chance. And then my last recommendation is a book by Eddie Autry. Shall I show you?
Which you
Yeah,
do, which
you
you do
got it.
have.
Come on.
Yeah. So it's called The Spirit Behind the Lens. if you haven't, please try and get the book. It's an amazing book. It kind of documents his whole process. Obviously him being a hip hop photographer and stuff. Obviously it's a hardback, so you can put it on your coffee table. You know, it's an amazing book, and I just love how it's composed. It's kind of like, funny enough, it's made like a song where you go through like almost like a verse by verse kind of vibe. It's an amazing book, and how like people can kind of not only progress, but also you can kind of see how people have aged and how it's important to kind of capture these moments and how important photographers are really in society, because there are a lot of these kind of behind the scenes moments, but also vulnerable moments from a lot of rappers and musicians and singers that perhaps we would never get to see another side of them. So yeah, that's the third recommendation, Spirit Behind the Lens by Eddie Otre.
Sweet. And then following on from that, one of my 3 recommendations. Yeah, I can't lie. I don't really do that much, but I think obviously I saw the book before we recorded. And there is another photographer who has passed away, but his name is Chai Modu. And has also done similar sort of photography for like Biggie, Tupac, Nas, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, pretty much that generation of that, I guess, nostalgic hip hop. So that's one of them. And you can follow that page at Chai Modu, so it's spelled CHIMODU, and that's on Instagram. Second one is another music album called Glorious News by Still Shady. Which was, I can't lie, like it was a really good album. I think it's shown his growth, and I guess how much he's developed in his artistry. I think there's a song called Dear Life featuring Governor B, and also there's a last song on there called let me get it now. Last song on there is called Order My Steps, and that's featuring the Anthem Choir. I think it was actually filmed on BBC Radio 4 as well. But it was like, that song is a beautiful way to end the album. And the photography and creative direction was done by, is it Chinre? I think that's how you say it. Is it Chinre? Chinyere. Which I actually do know, funny enough. But yeah, she did the photography and creative direction for it, and she's really, really sick. And you can follow her on IG as CHINYEREANO. And then finally, this is like a animator / illustrator. Her name is, that's so random. Randomly, Samson just dropped a Instagram live.
Yeah, I literally got a notification as well.
I clicked on it, right?
Samson, stop going on live.
Her name's Annie Choi. She's an illustrator and animator from I don't know, she doesn't know where she's from even, but she does like anime, like surrealism.
Nice.
That's cool.
Like animations. Her work is so cool, man.
Yeah.
There's this one that you'll see next, which is like essentially someone taking the moon and then making it into like a cloak or like a
That's
jacket.
very cool. Yeah.
But it's very like the anime. I love anime animations.
Yeah.
Like
But
it's
you
very,
love anime?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do, but I'm not a crazy.
You really tried it. You tried it. Why are you coming for him? Leave him alone.
We know
We'll
what?
talk off pod. Yeah.
Oh, definitely not on that. Come on, man. What? And then you know what it is, yeah? I'm not like a binge watch of anime, but I enjoyed it.
So,
Fraud.
Oh my gosh. But no, I think animation is beautiful. But yeah. And Attack on Titan.
okay. Why are you laughing? I was like, that's the only one I've watched, so that's why I was like,
That's sick.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
okay. For me, okay. So I'll start off with Turner Jogo, who's a photographer. Amazing photographer. I became aware of her when she did the cover shoot for Nella Rose's cover. This is when Nella Rose and Henry did it, like maybe last year or 2 years ago.
Okay.
Really like the shoot. And she shared recently her process of just like creating her studio, how she got the studio, and like the work that she's made during that time. And I think it's so beautiful, like seeing her journey and her growth.
Yeah.
And what she's been able to do having that space, and like just the importance of having studio space is like a really big deal,
Yeah,
like
very
within like
important.
one's like practice.
Yeah.
But like her photography work is just incredible in general. So I would recommend. My second recommendation is Tega Alexander. So I've been following him for a bit. And I know back in the day, he used to do a lot of like dance. I mean, people say movement in the comments. I'm just like, maybe it's movement. I don't know what the technical.
when the thingy
Yeah.
pops up, the emojis. And
Oh, no, that is Dante Colley.
Okay,
Like,
'cause
two different.
I'm thinking, what? Okay.
No, two different.
apologies.
But you've probably seen his stuff before. He does more like lifestyle content now.
Okay.
Like content creation. But he used to do a lot of like movement, like dance visuals before that, and he's going back into that now.
Nice. Okay.
So he's been like playing around with like short film, and some of the short films he's made are like really beautiful. I think he did one either in Nigeria or Ghana like a couple months, maybe last year, end of last year. But he did a recent one, and it was kind of exploring love and like, you know, when you get to like when you're meeting someone and you're taking that leap of faith, and it was just really beautiful. Like the spoken word, it wasn't spoken word, but it was like a narrated like piece.
Yeah.
So it was him and a woman, and like it was just really beautiful and really, really nice. So I want to shout him out. I think he's going to be doing more of that, it seems. So looking forward to seeing more of that. As a result of what we've spoken about in this week's episode, this is going to sound so funny coming from me. There's a really good sermon by Christine Kane about the dark room, and just I can see Burst smiling.
I was like, what?
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
it.
I was gonna say earlier,
Christine
but
Kane, wow.
yeah, but
Fair enough.
look, when I say I'm not new to this thing, but
You're not. You're definitely not.
But
At
what-
least you're not like this guy with anime. But anyway.
but like there was a sermon I always used to come back to just about the importance of like being in the dark room and just like embracing the time that you're in. And I think sometimes, especially in the like we've spoken about this like microwave generation, and like comparison can be a very big thing.
Yep.
And she just talks about like sometimes if care's not taken and you're, like you said, premature success, like you're not ready and things can happen.
Yeah.
And I think we're in a culture where we're so quick to be put on and we're so quick to be like platformed that we're, you know, we realize what we're asking for kind of thing. But it does something puts a lot of things into perspective and just shows the beauty of being like molded in the darkness, like Bane vibes, you know?
I was born in it.
But yeah, no, really good sermon. But yeah.
That's it, man.
Sick.
That's it.
Oh, lovely.
Well,
Hate to end it this way, man.
I know, man.
I want to stay here forever.
I wish.
But yeah, anyway, it's been a lovely episode. You know, hopefully you guys listen to one of the, you know, recommendations and pick something up for yourselves.
And let us know, like, if you've actually checked them out, what are your thoughts on them, you know? Let
Might
us
even
know.
have you on the pod.
Yeah, right. Anyway, love you guys. Bye.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in to today's episode of Rule of Thirds. Feel free to share your thoughts with us using the hashtag RuleOfThirdspod. And for more from us, follow us on Instagram at RuleOfThirdspod, or our personal accounts for myself, Burns JNR,
Mike at _man like Mike.
And Jude at Kente Kwame.
Catch you guys in the next one.